Wow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Don't Be Mad podcast, your weekly dose of the boys kicking back, shooting the shit, but this time with a little bit of mourning. I'm your boy Matthew, aka Lefty Lucky, and I'm joined here as always with
Jamali.
And Jason.
And we also got a special guest this week. Pan the camera over to our friend Jessica.
Hi.
How you doing, love?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me.
More than happy to have you here.
Very happy.
So yeah, as I was saying, last week we had some good vibes. It was nice energy, but over the weekend things got a little bit strenuous with some news that came out about Kobe Bryant unfortunately coming to an early passing from a helicopter accident alongside his daughter and I think her daughter's teammate, her parents, and a few other people that are part of the team. And obviously, you know us, like we have been big basketball fans. We've had many conversations on this podcast about Kobe Bryant or just basketball in general. So we want to send our deepest condolences to the family, to both families that are affected by this and everybody that was on that plane, the pilot, helicopter, the pilot as well. You know, it's unfortunate news when you hear something like this. And I mean, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I know for a good 2 days, I was pretty much just mentally out of it. Anybody else want to chime in?
Jason go ahead. That's Jason's
our resident Laker fan, you want to chime in on this?
Well, I'm still at a loss of words to even know what's like. It's not processing in my head that Kobe's gone. Kobe to me is my hero, and to know that someone like to me he's untouchable, and for something like that to happen to him to go out that way, it doesn't even process in my head. I still can't even explain it. And it's just so surreal that it happened, and with his daughter and everything like that. Like I was crying for like 2 days. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. And just it's very sad. I feel sorry for his family and the rest of the families that of their families that perished in the crash as well too. So I really don't know what to say. I'm gonna miss Kobe, but to honor Kobe like we all should do, we all should have that Mamba mentality. Just always do best you can, and even though you do the best you can, just do better than that. And that's all I can really say right now.
Molly?
I mean, it was crazy, like me and Jason go back and forth all the time. You gotta respect his game. He was a great player. I mean, he brought a lot to the game, but even all our conversation, obviously I'm a LeBron fan. You still gotta respect his greatness, and for him to perish in the manner in which he did is crazy. Mm-hmm. Not only just that, then you think of the life of his daughter and how, even though she passed, how it's gonna affect those that survive. It was crazy. To this day, it's like a disbelief because it's just like yeah, you're here, but it hasn't hit home yet. So
yeah, it's still very, very fresh.
It's crazy, bro.
Because like
value every moment you got on Earth. That's all I can say.
No, because I looked at it like when the news came out, I was really just like home. It was the Sunday. You had like the Pro Bowl was about to be on, and like the first couple tweets I saw about it, it just kind of reminded me of how like they've already done Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, where a report comes out, maybe they were like sent to hospital, and they're like, oh no, they're dead, and like you hear those like celebrity deaths happen all the time, and it turns out to be false. So immediately I was just like, Kobe, like yeah, okay, whatever, get the fuck out of here, like. There's no way Kobe of all people like died on this like random Sunday afternoon. But then I had a few friends like sending me links to like CNN, NBC, ABC, ESPN, all different like journalists, reporters, even teammates that were just talking about how like this news that's come out, is it true? They know his helicopter went down, but nobody's on site. And just through it all, like just through all the chaos of it, the only thing I was really just trying to figure out was like, why are we all freaking out until we get a body recovered, and not wanting to like hit that panic button and just start throwing out a bunch of info, because at one point they were talking about how like Rick Fox might have been on there and Derek Fisher, and like there were just so many different names being thrown out there that was just like, you know what? Like everybody needs to calm down a bit. And then they started saying that Gianna was on there as well. And at that point, I literally got mad because I'm like, all right, you know what? Like I went on Twitter. I was like, people who are spreading that the daughter was on there too. Like, I hope you're like 100% confirmed sources, because that's not something you're going to want to have on your conscience. And like, I was saying that more as like for obvious reasons, but at the same time, It was more of like a panic in myself being like, if it turned, because at that point, it like we knew Kobe was on that helicopter. Like it was his. They hadn't named the pilot, but they're like, that's his helicopter. But when they started saying that possibly the daughter was on there, like, I just know for myself, I was at that point where I was like, this will destroy me if that happens. And
yeah, it was nuts.
They officially announced that she was on there with the teammate. They were going to a game. And I literally just sitting on my couch, just like started crying. And it's just like, I was already like distraught at the fact that somebody that I had watched all my life play basketball, like to the point where like, I've always respected Kobe, but one of my favorite things to do with Kobe was hate on him.
Definitely.
You know, like I'm not, even though I'm wearing the Laker jersey right now, I'm wearing his jersey. Like I wasn't a Laker fan. Like Jason, Laker fan. My boy Andre, Laker fan. You know, there's so many people I know that are Laker fans, and it was always just fun to piss them off. Even though like I respected Kobe, I loved his game, but knowing that it was so easy to trigger people and just be a little bit of a troll and get them to fly off the road because of how much they loved Kobe. That was my favorite thing to do with him. And to know that somebody who, like I said, I respected so much in the game, for him to go that way, and like his daughter to go alongside him, who, if anybody was paying attention, like you saw what she was becoming in her own right as a basketball player. So for that legacy of his to be gone in the blink of an eye alongside him, like I said, man, I just sat on my couch and I literally cried for like a good 30 minutes, just letting it all out and just thinking like, this isn't the way that should ever happen, you know?
Sucks. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Kobe, you're still the greatest ever. I don't care what anyone says. I'm still
I
gonna
don't
fight.
know about all that yet.
I'm still gonna fight people. I'm still gonna fight people if they
I mean,
slander.
let's relax. He's a good number 3.
No, listen. if I see people slandering Kobe for like the next 5 years, it's gonna be fight on site.
Bro, you're not gonna fight
Fight.
nothing, bro.
You think Jesus is giving Kobe buckets?
Jesus giving Kobe buckets, please. Kobe's gonna dunk this dude out of his sandals, please. Kobe's gonna dunk him out of his sandals.
Yo,
Jesus, my
yo,
foot.
Jesus got the air gods, man. You know, you don't know, man. Them sandals are lit, bro.
Please,
Give him them extra hops. You know, he walk on water. He might walk on air too.
please.
Too much hang time for Kobe, bro.
Jesus is gonna get his ass broke in heaven.
Down here we say Kobe when we throw garbage in the bucket, but up there, man, you know, you got to take on the best first. We're not gonna know what went down, but
Kobe's gonna say, Jesus, like, how did you die getting pinned to a cross? You didn't have that mama mentality. That's what he's gonna say. That's what he's gonna say.
Bro, like, we should switch topics now, bro. This is getting out of hand.
In all seriousness, Kobe, we love you. We're gonna miss you, and we're gonna keep moving forward that mama mentality.
damn right, man. RP number 8, number 24.
All right.
Now that we got the sad stuff out the way, should we start with our guest?
Definitely. You would think, right?
I mean, the reason we are here today. Jess, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
We were hoping to have this on like happier vibes, but I mean, whatever. We gotta take what comes with it.
I think it's an unfortunate news, but I think the biggest lesson in all of this is how you impact people. And I think that Kobe Bryant did a really good job about this. And this is why I can put my hand on fire saying the entire world got the news. And I think we all similarly, you know, we felt this a similar way.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Take a second. You weren't with me crying in the basement, okay? Leave me alone.
No, I wasn't. I was in my mama's kitchen, bro.
All right. So, for the people who don't know Jess, please explain yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, why you're here.
Great. So, I am a young entrepreneur Started my own business 2 years ago, which is a dance studio. It's called CORNERYUL, located in Verdun. I also work full-time at Capital Market in the finance industry. What else do? I just registered back for university.
Oh, nice.
Finished my international business degree. So that's a short little answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going back to school. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's
You
been a
excited
month
or
now.
are you scared? Oh, it's been a month, yeah.
It's been a month. It's not easy, eh?
No, of course not.
The brain is a muscle, and to train it to go back after I've been out of university for 8 years now.
Shit, yeah.
Wow.
So it's a challenge.
Yeah, I
but
can't even imagine going
getting
back.
there.
Like when my last day, I like literally ran out. I was like, never again. Full sprint out of that place.
I'll get there. I mean, it's gonna take me 10 years, but the goal is to just keep learning and yeah.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Keep it up. Yeah. So the dance studio, CORNERYUL,
Yeah.
started it 2 years ago. I've been part of not a part of it, but I've essentially
You've been
seen,
part
like,
of
the
it. You've
I've been to
part
a
of
couple
it.
events,
Yeah.
you know, like I've
Yeah.
seen one. No, I've been
No.
to a couple events. I mean, I can dance if you get some liquor in me and but no, like I've been to a few of the events that they've thrown there, and yeah, no, like it's a beautiful dance studio. I saw like the earlier stages of it, and now more of like the finished product of it and how it's been going along. But this event that's coming up now, like for our listeners, you want to explain like what it's about?
Yeah. So let me just take you back a little bit, because the event is kind of going hand to hand with the reason why I opened the studio. So the reason why I opened the studio, the main reason, is that as a teenager, you're going through some stuff.
You can swear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you go through a lot of shit in high school, and I was bullied, and I was badly bullied. In French, I went to a French school, so it's secondaire 5. So what grade is that?
We all went to
Secondary 5.
Grade 11.
Grade 11.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish my high school at my high school because I was bullied. So I was scared going to school, and I didn't feel comfortable. So I wanted to convince myself that I was going to be able to go to CJEP at the same time as everyone, as all my friends. So for 2 months, when June it ends.
Summer school.
Yeah, I went to adult school. I finished my entire secondaire 5 in 2 months, and went to college at the same time as everyone. But while I was doing all of this, I was dancing. And I was dancing with an amazing dance family at a studio that at the time it was extremely good for me. However, I didn't feel safe enough to open up about this. So nobody knew that I was getting bullied. My closest friend, my family, my dance family, nobody knew. And my lesson from all of this is that now the studio is a place where I want to create for the teenagers to be safe enough to obviously express themselves in movements, but also if they need to raise a hand and say, I need help, we're there for them. And that's the main reason why I opened up. But then, of course, shit went down, right? You grow up, and those problems are not leaving you.
Yeah, things tend to follow.
Yeah, mental health is extremely important. So 17 years old, got beat up on the street by 10 guys.
Wow.
Yeah, so that happened. So obviously, the process of that bullying and stuff kind of came back. And it's not something that I wanted to raise and say, hey, guys, like, I've been on the street in blood, went to the hospital, 10 guys were jumping me. It's not something that I was confident enough to talk about. So again, that brought me up to like, okay, well, you remember the business plan I was doing just for fun when I was 16 years old? Maybe it's time to maybe work on it a little more. But when I'm 17 years old, I don't know how to do a business plan.
You got to start somewhere,
right?
Somewhere.
So yeah, just like typing on Excel sheets, not even knowing to do, like, I don't know how to do a PowerPoint at that point. But it happened, whatever. 8 months later, I didn't take the bus, didn't take the metro for 8 months. The first time I take the metro back, so this 40 people, guys and girls, they all come in the same wagon. They blocked the doors. We were 3 girls in that wagon, and I was eyewitness. You know, they were touching us, and I witnessed a rape.
Fucking hell.
So then I'm like, okay, so there is no way. I need to create this space where I want to have for people to feel okay, and that it's okay to go through these things too, right? I mean, it's not okay, but it is okay to talk about it.
Yeah, to open
Right.
up and share these experiences.
Exactly. So this event is kind of relating to the mental health and how to take a minute and take a step back and think about your own self and who you are and what you want to project to the world and how do you want to become. So it's a 45-minute training, physical training, all level. And exercising, honestly, it is the number one key in everything.
What?
It's the number one key.
I know, exercise in the kitchen, bro.
That too, whatever fits you. And then there's there's a yoga session to kind of, recenter and regroup your thoughts. And yeah. So it's all about mental health, physical health, all related to
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
That's crazy that you've experienced all that in such a short window.
Yeah.
Of your life. Like, I think a lot of people would be crippled after that. Socially, at least. They'll be probably afraid to go out. So, like, where do you find your courage to keep pursuing your goals, you know?
That's a very good question. I went to therapy.
Okay.
I still go to therapy, by the way. Full disclosure. Like, therapy is the shit. I
got a therapist. Don't even worry.
Yeah. It's she's my confidant. So but for that specific, I went to a special therapy.
Wow.
It took a long time. I mean, I do travel with sort of a auto defense in my purse at all time because that fear is still there.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But I got my license right when the first one that happened. When I got jumped on the street, I got my license right away. I was 17, so I think it's 16 to get it. So I was like, Jess, you need to get on this. My mom and my dad forced me to. The courage comes from therapy. Definitely helped. But then again, I'm a very ambitious person. So I think that helps a lot. The fact that I have a very strong personality helps a lot because it is something that not everyone can come back from. I truly believe that. It takes a long time anyway.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially like with everything you've described, more often than not, it's like you had the drive. Like you're somebody who, even though these things happened to you, you already had like some goals and ambitions that were set. So essentially you dove headfirst into those things and just allowed that to be the thing that propelled you forward. And the fact that you say not only did you use therapy and you're still going to therapy, which is great, a lot of people don't know that's an option as well. More often than not, you'll have people who go through very traumatic situations and just end up balling it up, keeping it to themselves. And then as more things are just piling up on top of them, they either snap or do harm to themselves.
Yeah.
So I think you even like reminding people that, therapy is quite the option that helped you out. And it's an option that more people need to use is pretty good.
And I think if you don't have that type of personality where like you have the drive and stuff, surround yourself with the people that have it. I think that helps a lot, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I mean, like in any situation, you should always have people around you that are encouraging you to do better.
100%.
Because more often than not, like you'll look around you and you essentially get a bit stagnant. And it's like, all right, like we've all like either have our jobs or we maybe have our hobbies, but like we're just kind of like plateaued at a certain point. We're not really doing more. But if you have somebody who's looking at you just being like, hey, like I noticed you're not like, there's no like encouragement in you anymore. Like what's going on? Like that helps a lot too. And I feel like what I've noticed from your dance studio is you've created a bit of a community that does that. Like obviously they can open up to you. And then from the things that you can teach them, from your experiences, help guide them in a certain direction that'll help them get like better and be able to cope with the things that they're dealing with. But on top of that, knowing that they have each other to just build around, like that's one of the things I love about what your studio is doing.
I'm happy you've noticed that because community right now is a big, I'm focusing a lot on building a community. And I think that having the team that I have, we all have a story. Everybody does, right? And the team that I built is also strong enough to be open-minded and to welcome teenagers' stories. But it doesn't need to be a teenager's, right? We start at 3 years old and then we go up. I mean, the oldest is 36. Like we're very diversified with the age. So, but I think it's I can't be alone building all of this. So it's obviously, as a leader, I'm trying to kind of give that to the teachers, for the teachers to give it to dancers. So then it's a full circle. And then it creates the community that we need to have, because especially that I'm in Verdun, right? Verdun is not necessarily, it's not a secret. It's not the best city.
No.
So.
No, it's true. And I feel like with more places like yours in that community, it's going to help it, because you need to have places that, or spaces that are inviting and are encouraging and are promoting growth.
Yeah.
And especially when you're doing it in a situation where you're touching the young minds, to know that they have somebody they can look up to, somebody they can trust, and somebody that's setting an example that they can take going forward. And then, who knows, maybe from your one dance studio, you get 5 other dance studios that take the mantra that you've taught them, and they put that into other spaces in Montreal's smaller communities as well. Like it's all about the little things that you may not even notice you're doing that are going to spread throughout.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like it's great that you started that, and that you're really doing your part as far as like teaching those lessons, not just to the 3-year-olds, but to the 36-year-olds as well,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a big part in character building, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe for you, maybe reflecting back, you might have feel like maybe your courage came from, having that community to go back to, where even though you didn't express your, what you were going through, you at least have a place where you could go and be yourself and not be judged and not be afraid to even experience more violent act, I guess.
I mean, dance is a sort of, it's a therapy, right? For dancers, we do say that it's our own therapy. And trust, when I go to the studio, it's my therapy too. It's not only for the kids and for the girls who are there or the boys that are dancing, right? It's also for me. It's also, like I said, it's a very much circle, right? So you give good, you receive good, you respect, you give respect, you receive respect. It's all a circle. So as much as I'm helping them, which I'm trying as much as I can, because the big thing about the studio is, in order to be a better dancer, you have to become a better person, right? So trying to get that vision out of them, for them, to them. I have it too, right? They give it to me back. So it's when you say like the small little things, it's so true, because I created this wall where, I'm very organized and I'm a little bit of OCD. So I said, I want to change that. I want to challenge myself and change it. Listen, it might be stupid, but for me, it was a huge thing. So I have this wall at the studio, and I just told the girls, I'm like, Sharpies for everyone, and I want you guys to just write quotes and just write whatever you want on that wall. That wall is messy. It's raw. It says it's reality, right? Like what it says on that wall, it's so beautiful. But then again, that was so small for me to do. It didn't cost me a thing. I didn't invest any money on this.
Was probably going like haywire.
Oh my God. Even when I walk
like
in the studio.
That word's not straight.
Trust me. But it's good, and it's bringing a community again, because people walk in and they're like, I want to write, I want to make my mark. And I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what it is, right? You want to impact people. So
I like that.
Yeah.
So with the dancing, how many years have you been doing it?
Since I'm 3 years old, and I'm now 29. So how many years is that?
At least 26.
26.
Here it is. I went back. I'm doing a math course right now at university. Can you tell?
And like, have you done like different styles? Has it always been like kind of like one type of focus of dance that you've been doing?
No, a lot of styles. So started with ballet, jazz, went back to ballet, and then decided to do the 2 of them, tap, contemporary, because contemporary kind of, blew up. I did a little bit of hip hop. last year I did some dance hall, trying to explore.
You did dance hall?
I did dance hall,
You
yeah.
survived?
I did survive.
Survive.
and I mean, the teacher said I was pretty good.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, it's the music of the dance hall speaks to me so much. So something that I enjoy, but I'm initially a contemporary dancer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you've done like all like the formal stuff, and now you're just like you started with the formals, went into more of like the freestyles, and
Yeah.
now it's taking everything you've learned and giving it back. That's pretty.
I think it's
awesome.
important as a dancer to touch everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because like that's literally what I was gonna say. Because you get like such a different verse of like people that are coming in, so knowing that you have like spread your wings as far as styles go helps you connect with those people. So it's good to know that you've done that. It's almost like a little test. Don't worry.
I passed. Did I?
You passed. Don't worry. So yeah, you said now the studio's been open for 2 years. What's the goal for this year outside of like focusing on the mental health, which this event is going to be promoting? Like, what are some of the things you're hoping will grow or advance as the studio goes into its 3rd year?
We're doing so I'm kind of changing a little bit of my business plan, my business model. We are a dance studio, but I do want to offer events that has nothing to do with dance, that it's more for everyone and everything, right? We promoted Hot Booty Ballet, which is, I mean, I know it says ballet in the name, but it's not very much of a dancing. It's a training. It's core and then arms and So the goal for the 3rd year is to expand in terms of the clientele, different clientele, to bring a little bit more than just dancers together. We're doing competitions. We always do competitions every year. And we go outside of Montreal, we go to Tremblant and stuff. So it's really good. So for the 3rd year, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm also, the first year I did a fundraiser, and I believe that this summer there's going to be potentially another fundraiser.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know for what yet.
Still got time to plan. Summer's coming up. But.
Yeah. The first year we did a MS.
Okay.
And, we raised about like $5,000 to $6,000, between $5,000 to $6,000, which is very impressive really for first year studio and stuff. So I think we can reach maybe double with another fundraiser. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
It's in the air.
That's awesome. Oh, Jamal, you got to...
Oh, finally.
What?
Well, I mean, you're leading the way.
Okay, go, man.
Why do you take everything so personal, man? Relax.
It's all right, man.
We've already had this conversation. This guy. So in terms of growth, and I know you said you want to expand into other fields, like do you have programs that are particularly tailored to children or even adult to experience some sort of like bullying or whether anxiety or anything like that, anything that's specifically targeted to that type of I guess mental health aspect?
So when you walk in the studio, whoever you are, whatever team you're part of, it's the message is to become a better person, do the best thing you can,
right?
And be kind. That's the main goal, vision when you walk in. Now, the competition team, where we actually have a lot more time with them because it's not only one class, 1 hour a week. Right. We do some crazy exercise where, last week I just asked all the girls to record themselves. Anything you want to leave in 2019 and everything you want to bring in 2020. And I asked them to freestyle on it. So obviously there's a lot of emotions, right? The girls were freestyling, crying, and then they're just sort of they're doing movements on their own voice and history and journey, right? Because that's their story. So I'm not the type of person, my door is open, but I'm not, I'm a dance studio owner. I wish I could be a therapist. But I don't have the tools for it and the qualities for it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to do exercise that will make you realize or feel a certain way for you to, because I know exactly what to do because I didn't have it.
Right.
So when I used to walk into my dance studio, first of all, I was French. I did not know how to speak English, and everybody was English there. So already, I mean, I loved them. They loved me. It was dance family, but it was still, there was a barrier there, right? And there's a lot of things that when I used to walk in, I used to say to myself, you know, maybe if that happened, I would have had the courage to say something or to express it or to ask for help. Because I needed help, right? So I'm trying to do those exercises for the girls to be able to voice what they want to voice. And if they don't want to voice it, they can express it. So they don't go home and they do those things to themselves, right? The bad things and then the dark ideas. Yeah. So it's more through exercise and more through talking to them. And it's always a good vibe. I don't think we ever had a bad vibe at the studio. It's very much of a...
It's good though.
Yeah.
I think they need that, especially kids growing up in this era. I feel like they're more exposed to, like they're easily targeted versus, I guess, we're almost all the same age. You know, you get bullied at home, at school, but when you went home, you were kind of safe. As opposed to now, it's sort of like, you're bullied at school, you're bullied on your way home, you're bullied even when you're not in school, right?
Even when you're at home, man, it's called cyberbullying.
Right.
Things are bad now. Like, it's so bad. It doesn't go away. It does not go away. Yeah. Yeah.
So they do need a safe place. That's dope. And do you plan on expanding in other neighborhoods or work with other organizations to whether put together a workshop?
Besides us at the moment, you know?
I mean, collaborations are coming. Collaborations are coming.
Who else is on the agenda?
I'm not looking to expand right now. But I do have a goal for, I see big. I never do anything small. So 5 years, something's going to happen. 10 years, something's going to happen. As of now, it's not necessarily to open a second space, but it's bigger. Let's just put it that way.
It's always good to go big, man. Go big or go home.
No
right?
dream is too big, man.
You cannot sacrifice without believing. And I sacrifice a lot.
Right.
So trust me, I believe a shit ton. Yeah.
No, it definitely is a good thing.
Jason's been chilling in the back there. Almost forgot he was here.
I've been. I tell you, I'm like the black Ghostbuster. I make things run behind the scenes. No, I had a question, side, but from more of a business aspect. A lot more people nowadays are, say, looking to move out of Montreal to, start a new career or start a new business or anything like that. How do you, as a business owner now, resist that urge not to go to like another market and really stay like, Montreal centric and not have that urge to like do what everyone else is doing? Because a lot of people are going to Toronto or the States, Vancouver, whatever, to open a new business, start new work or anything like that. What is particular about Montreal that you can succeed here?
On a side note, I did live in Toronto for 2 years.
Okay.
So the market there, I kind of experienced it. I would never open a first business in Toronto. Reason why Toronto is just like the US and Vancouver. In order to make money, you need money. And when I'm saying you need money, you need 7 figures money.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's extremely, extremely, extremely expensive. I'm not saying Montreal is cheap at all, but in terms of market value, commercial space, it's a lot cheaper. Yeah. But the main reason why I chose Montreal's hometown, being a business owner is a lonely journey. Okay. You go home to someone or you don't go home to someone, trust me, it's a lonely journey. So opening up not in my hometown, not with my friends and family around me, I did not want that. So that was a dream that I had when I was younger. And I quickly learned that it's a lonely journey. And you have to be able to get used to the unpredictable chaos. And having no loved ones around you, it plays hard on the balance. So the reason why Montreal was and also, let's be real, I mean, I already had a clientele, right? I already had a dance crew. I already had people. So I didn't open up being like, hey, I'm no one. No, of course not. You don't do that, right? That's a bad business decision. So I had a crew. I had, I think we were 25 people. We started this. They were my crew. We went to competition. We got known. And not having that is a bad business decision. So, and I had that in Montreal.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I mean, main reason, yeah.
Makes sense.
You know, well, let's talk real.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I going back? You guys?
What? Why'd you keep whispering under your breath, bro?
I mean,
I'm not
I can
whispering.
add
I'm like,
some
hey.
stuff, guys. I can add. The event is Feb 9, and I hope you all coming.
I got 2 left legs, so I don't really.
We're gonna make him do hot yoga.
Oh, hey, it can't be hot. The studio can't be hot. Anyway, it's I mean, I hope you can make it. It's a 45-minute training. After, we're gonna have some smoothies. We're gonna share a little bit of, you know, just a sharing session, not session, formal session, but just, you know, chatting, community. Again, that's important. Right. Finishing with a yoga, and then shout out to everyone who's gonna give some stuff. So I reached out to Montreal-based companies. And if they're not Montreal, they're natural. There's only one that it's not from Canada, and it's completely natural. Just to give some sample. So I'm doing some surprise bag for you to leave at the event. So if you guys want to come.
My plan is
Matt's
to
will be representing
perfect.
us.
You have to book your ticket on Eventbrite, and it's only $35.
Oh, it's nothing. That's like,
So the link is in my bio on Instagram. Please go at Jessica Migneault Bousquet. You're gonna have to write that down because that's extremely complicated.
I will put it down. I'll put it down.
Don't worry, I have her Instagram. We will put the link up.
Fantastic.
I don't know if there's anything more to add at this point.
Well, yeah. Well, I had another question.
Yeah, Jason, go.
Being a woman, well, you're seeing it in Montreal. A lot more women are opening businesses. And what for you were some of the first, I wouldn't say necessarily challenges, but how would you essentially differentiate your approach as to other people who open their business? And I mean, anyone in general or anything like that. And what have been some of the difficulties that you've encountered while, you know, opening up your studio at first? And has there been any, you know, pushback on you to open a business, or from anything, if you can tell me?
Totally. First of all, my approach, that it's different. A lot of people, when they open a business, what I've noticed, and I'm part of a tribe. I'm surrounding myself with young entrepreneur, especially women, because it is a hard world if you're not a woman in some aspect. My different approach from, okay, so sorry, I'm jumping to 500 subjects, but I think what I've noticed from business owner is, as soon as you open your business, you kind of, a lot of people, they become sort of like, there's an ego, and then they're like, oh, I do this, what do you do? Right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of I'm a big shot type of thing. And I mean, I have friends like that. I respect them, but that's not my approach, right? So I think the different approach that I had, and that's why people are sticking with me, being vulnerable. I think courage comes from vulnerability.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I think being vulnerable is a big one. Transparency. You know, my entire team knows how much we make. Do I care? Absolutely not. I think it's important. I think it's the key to success, right? So transparency, not the students, guys, the team, the teachers, right? The actual team. the student, they don't know. They don't know. So I think my different approach, my approach is vulnerability and transparency and honesty. Now, to answer your question, I got turned down. I mean, I reached out to a social media company to help me out, right? And I told them my budget is $1,200 a month. this is what I'm looking for. They said we can do it, but we don't want to do it because they want to work with companies that are doing that on a full-time base. Now, don't get me wrong. I do work full-time, but the studio is also full-time. So, I mean, there was they didn't believe that because I didn't work 9 to 5 to my own business that I deserved to have their service. Which is fine because guess what? I found another company who is much better for much cheaper.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yes, of course I got turned down.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta shop
nuts.
around, and because a lot of companies, like you said, the ego thing. A lot of people think they're in positions that I can do whatever I want, and who are you, or something like that. But like you said, you found another company that's cheaper, better, and I'm sure offers a better quality of service. And now you're happy, and it's their loss essentially.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. And another lesson that I learned, you cannot take no for an answer.
Nah.
Right? You cannot take no for an answer. As a young entrepreneur, you can't. Your business is not going to grow. And how many no's did I have? And if I would have stopped, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
can't
most
take no for an
definitely,
answer. Sorry?
I said most definitely. I think you have to have the will to continue,
Yeah.
regardless of what. But I mean, you clearly have that, so I don't think any amount of no's would have stopped you.
I mean, we have this running joke at the studio that nobody says no to me, right? So nobody says no to me, but then again, I don't say no to any one of them. Right? It's a given again, like that. If you want to receive, you got to give in a certain way.
Well, you got to take a risk, right, to receive a reward, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, because now it comes with trust, right? And if you have trust issues, t'es pas sorti du foin. It's like...
It's definitely the case, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anything you want to add, you guys?
No, I've asked so much. I want to let you guys, chime in, and
Oh, wow. Very considerate.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best in 2020.
Oh, but these are good question. I love it. Let's go.
New year, new you, right?
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
New Year's, New You. Is that what you said?
That's what he says.
Okay. All right.
But how do you find the balance in what you do in terms of you say you're going back to school, you're running this company, you probably have a full-time job, you have a social life, I assume, or how do you find the balance? 'Cause I think with a lot of young entrepreneurs, it's like either they focus completely on their business and they forget about other aspects of their lives, or they're not willing to sacrifice the other aspects of their life in order to push their business forward. How do you find the balance?
Time management, organizations. I mean, everything is in my calendar. If I need to answer an email, it's in my calendar.
Damn.
Everything is in my calendar. And it's I came in here, I wasn't late, which is very surprising.
Oh, don't
but
worry.
I was on time.
You got 3 black folks here.
But,
None of us show up on time.
but then you saw me. What did I do? I opened my computer and I worked because I'm like, okay, I have time now. I can finish this. And I did finish all my invoices, right? So it's time management. It's dedication, right? If I'm not dedicating, I'm not going to open the computer and do my work. Then again, I would love to focus only on the studio. I'm a go-getter and I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish. Right now, for the 3rd year, I am not going to only focus on the studio. I mean, I have a full-time job. It's a capital market. It's a very demanding job. And as of now, it pays the bill because the studio is still very new. And as long as the studio is not paying the bill, I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm going to suffer financially, because then the mental health is going to be completely gone. Yeah. So I have my stability financially, and I think that helps me go. And yeah.
But do you feel like you're sacrificing other areas of your life?
My sleep.
Your sleep, yeah.
My sleep, my social life. exercising. I mean, I exercise at the studio like a 15-30 minutes in the office, right? Because when I get home, it's 10 o'clock and I have to do my lunch for the next day. And then, no. I meal prep, so that helps a lot. Everything is prepped. So when I start my week every Sunday, first of all, I sit down and I do my week. I do the calendar for the week. All my meals are ready. All my laundry is complete. Everything's on point for me to start the week. And if I don't have that, I can't go through the week.
Organization is key then.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
OCD, man.
Yeah, but then again, like it is something it's considered bad, but then for me, it's very good.
In a case like this, it's really good because it keeps you on top of everything, and it allows you to be able to have a studio, have a full-time job, and also go to school without having anything fall on top of each other or fall behind. So it works out best.
But you were talking about the social life, and it's unfortunate, but I did lose a lot of people. And then again, is it a loss? I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured that out yet. But definitely now the time that I have with my social life is extremely it's quality. It's quality, and it's the people that are meant to stay and meant to be on my journey.
Yeah, you tend to lose people anyway.
Yeah, the first year was crazy. The first year I lost a lot of people, and then there's jealousy, right? I don't want to talk about it, but there is jealousy that is extremely big.
You can talk about it. You can talk about it.
I mean, no, man.
We encourage it. We encourage it.
No, but people, a lot of people don't want to see. They want to see you success, but not more than them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm a very successful person. I got there. It took me I still go to therapy and I still have anxiety attack.
Right.
Like I'm successful, but I have some shit to work on, right? But yeah, no, unfortunately, a lot of my girlfriends didn't understand that my time was not necessarily for them alone anymore.
Well, that's the difficulty I think most people face is when they're pursuing their goals or a passion that, your circle doesn't, if they're not doing the same, then it's kind of hard for them to even comprehend, your desire. And what are you doing? Like, it's not going to happen, right? There's more people willing to deter you from your goal than support you.
That's true. That's very true.
And thing with Jamali and I,
we're trying to lose Matthew for a long time. It's never worked.
Not happening. I've told these guys you are stuck with me till death do us part. Cannot get rid of me.
No, but for real, guys, the energy that you guys have, it's fun. It's fun. And it's a bond. Like, I can feel the bond, right? Like, I came in, you guys were screaming at each other, and I'm like, wow, that's a bond. Like, that is a bond. Like, you guys are screaming, but then talking, and then it's cool.
Because we were screaming at each other.
No, but it's fun. You guys all have strong opinions, and you guys are able to share it in a way where there's no, oh, but you said that, I'm going to walk away.
Oh, that happens. Don't get it twisted.
No, but you come back
when the cameras are off.
No, but you guys come back to each other, right? And that's the most important thing. Like that's what it is. Like friendship. That's not. It didn't happen with me, right? Like I cannot go back to them, and they decided to not go back to me, and it's okay.
No,
it's okay. Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different with guys too, man. Like with us, it's all right. Get it out your system. Let's have a drink. We'll hash it out. If we got to fight. 5 minutes.
Women are emotional.
But not only that, I think we also have the same desire. And I think the people that stuck with you are the people who have the same desire, even if it's not in the same space. They understand chasing a goal or having a passion.
They respect your passion.
They respect it. So those are the people that stick with
you. Bring a good point.
Like I was going to say, Jamali and I, we're from the same high school. And we see people from high school that are still doing the same thing.
Yep.
And we're like, come on. And the reason why Jamali and I get along... Huh?
Same shit for me and people in my high school.
And that's one of the reasons why Jamali and I get along so well is because, we came almost from the same place and we have the same goal for the podcast with Matt. So that's why our energy towards this is always, on point. Yeah, they see us argue. There's been some episodes where we've been really heated.
Oh, I listened. I listened. Yeah,
it gets bad, but
just want to poke me in the eye.
At the end of the day, we're all cool, though. That's the thing. That's what counts.
Twisted, it's still there.
It does. Yeah. No, that is the most important thing. I agree.
I think respect. I think sometimes I don't respect this guy, but
he loves me. It's okay.
I don't know if it's love. I could tolerate him. I don't know if it's love. A little far-fetched, buddy.
No, one thing you said before where you're like, you lost people, but you also feel like you've gained things. And I would look at it that way as well. With your career, what you've done successfully and in your growth and your grinding and your goals that you're trying to achieve, yeah, you may have lost some people on the social aspect of things of like not partying or just going to like the wine nights or whatever, but the girls and the kids that you're working with, you've gained them. And like you said, you wanted to create something that helps them. I think what you're creating with them, what you're gaining with them, and what they're gaining from you because you are making that sacrifice, way bigger.
Or what even what you're set
Way
to
bigger.
gain, right?
Yeah.
In like 10 years from now, you know, somebody might be going through that same situation, if not worse, and then you see them every, whether they're on your team or they come in for classes, and then in 10 years they'll tell you like, this kept me alive.
Yeah.
So that impact is crazy.
I mean, no, I love what you guys are saying because one of my reward when I go to the studio, the kids are calling me mom, right? And that, first of all, that's a lot of responsibility. But second, it's rewarding.
Right.
It is rewarding. And I remember doing a speech. I think it was the first anniversary or the opening. I can't remember. But I'm doing my speech.
We all cried.
Yeah, I like to make people cry.
There's a lot of tears in that studio out there, I'll tell you.
And there's a mom who said, who literally, she screamed and she said, you changed my daughter's life. And I stopped my speech, right?
That's crazy.
I'm so into it and I don't take time for myself, and that's something that I'm working on. I don't realize what I'm doing, the impact that I'm having on people. And I am having an impact, right?
Oh, for sure.
But I'm not seeing it, and I don't tap myself and just, you should be proud of yourself. I got no time to be proud of myself. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake. You should have time to be proud. You should have time to celebrate those moments. I'm still working on it. But it's very hard for me to take a step back and be like, okay, you did a good job. Because when people says you're doing amazing, this is so good, I'm like, yeah, it's all right, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
It's all right.
No, it's hard to see it sometimes when you're in it. Like, and
it's
you
very
are
hard.
like, you're in it, like you're immersed in it. It's something that you're essentially just, you're going through the motions knowing that this is it going to help.
Yeah.
But because you're in it, it's hard to see it. So it does take people from the outside to give you those confirmations, to give you the flowers while you can smell them. Yeah, you're doing a great job. And what you're doing is changing a daughter's life or a son's life or even a parent's life, having them see their child in a way that they didn't notice them before. But the work you're doing is bringing out that honesty, that trust, and that emotion that they've felt for a long time, was just kind of walked away and they couldn't connect with.
Yeah. And you know, everything you say, it's crazy because I can tell you now that all the people in my life, they say that about me. So losing people, it's not a bad thing.
No.
Because guaranteed those people will not necessarily.
There for your benefit.
Exactly.
Or even your growth. So.
Exactly. So I created, I'm part of a tribe. I created my own crew. I created my own gang, and they keep me going.
Yeah. Like,
definitely good.
What you're doing reminds me of a quote that someone told me when I was explaining to them I have no clue what to do with my nieces. And like, this is like back when it was just twins, and they told me, be the person you needed when you were young.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And like, they told me that, it stuck with me. And every time I'm with them or like my little cousins or even like some adults I know, I'm like, be the person I needed when I was their age. And just keep that in mind. There's little things that, when I was 12, I needed somebody to just listen to me rant, but didn't get that because, adults don't want to hear a child rant. Sometimes it's good to be that person that just listens to the child rant. Or there were times where I just wanted to use my imagination as like 6 years old, and I was told, no, you're being too loud.
Yeah.
Let them be that. So that's something that I'm going to give to you because I love the position you're in and the lives that you're touching. And it's just, keep that in the back of your head.
I love this. Well, I'm going to have to write this down.
I'll send it.
I'm going to have to
write it on the wall when he's there on February 6th.
I will write it on the wall, actually.
Please. I think
and he's tall enough to get in those, hard to reach places.
Where it won't get overwritten.
But this wall is about that, right?
Yeah.
So please, I love this quote. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I got emotional. I got emotional. I was like, oh, wow, I really like this quote.
Moment.
Oh, you had a few of those. Don't get it twisted. Told you we're trading you.
You're going to hate me in 2020, Jamal. I can tell.
Why? I don't have hate. You should know that. The amount of times I've threatened to punch you in the throat and I haven't done it yet. I don't carry hate. I have enough weight to carry. I don't have space for anything else. But don't push your luck.
Final thoughts, Jamal?
No, man, it was a good week, man. It's good to have a laughter after such a tough weekend.
Yeah.
It is.
And, you know, like when the whole thing happened, the first person that came to my mind was the trophy. This guy, you know, he was going, I was like, oh, shit. I told him, I'm like, oh, Jason just lost his shit. So I called him, and I was like, gotta see this guy on Tuesday now. How is he gonna be? I was a bit worried, you know? And I was like, you know what? I think he's gonna be all right. We'll just hope this is fake, you know? And then, you know, going through all the emotions and whatnot. I know I didn't reach out to you because I was following your shit on Instagram.
All my emotions were on display. I did not care.
So I was like, you know, after having such a tough week and then, you know, work right now, it's like tax season. So it's a lot of stupid people calling me to do dumb shit for them, you know. So it's good to have this break in the middle of the week, so to speak. So it was a pleasure being around you guys. I hardly say that. So cherish this moment.
He's training me, right? He thinks he's training me. Jason, final thoughts?
Final thoughts, man. Like I said, this week was a good week to have a laugh, to come here, speak with you guys, speak with Jess, and, you know, just kind of get my mind off the whole Kobe thing. But yeah, like when Jamal said he called me, I was crying on the phone with Jamal when Jamal called me. I was like a mess. But no, coming here today, you know, it's good to have a good laugh, have a good conversation. It's about something positive, especially, and you know, I just want to wish everyone, you know, be happy, be positive to everyone, and just if you have any beef with anyone, just settle that.
Truth.
Settle that right now.
Truth.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah,
Okay,
settle
don't
that.
say that. There's some beef that's not worth settling, bro.
Well, no, actually, Jamal, you're actually right. I'm sorry I said that.
I think you should cherish the people that you have in your life in this moment.
Correct.
That's where the attention
That's
should
a
be.
better thing to say.
Yes, but then I feel like you should when what you said, I think it's like more into you.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you have beef with someone, that's cool. But forgive yourself.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that person.
Let it go, man. It ain't
Yeah,
worth it.
let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Don't hold grudge. I don't know how people do that shit.
Huh?
Grudges, like people who hold all this.
I can't remember to hold grudges.
No, but you're a spirit soul. You're like a free. You're good at that. I mean, you have a pure soul.
I hold grudges.
I don't know if pure, but let's keep it
The
earthly.
vacuum that
around
I
it.
What did I
know.
do to you?
No,
Let's keep this
open-minded,
earth-
pure. I don't know. It's hard to
Go with the
it's
flow,
hard to
man.
not. I mean, you should not, but it's hard.
No, it's true. I think something that most of us struggle with at some point in our lives, where things affect us deeply, and we just don't know how to be like, you know what? It's growing pain, you know, like you gotta go through these things to come out a better person. So, but yeah, I think honestly, what I've learned is to cherish those in my life. You know what I mean? So, I don't know about beef because I don't carry around it. So, if someone have an issue with me, they have an issue, not me. So
That's good. That's good.
I'm good with that.
That's good. I hold on to grudges. I hold on to grudges.
This guy.
He's our resident grudge holder
I
and
hold on to
documenter.
grudges.
And
Really?
Because I'm the type of person that I don't go out of my way to you know, say bad things about people. And usually if someone's attacking me that way, I'm gonna go at them twice as hard. Like I don't mind ruining people's lives just to show up.
Wow, bro. After this positive conversation.
way to
Mama
bring the
mentality.
room
Wait.
down.
Mama mentality.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Oh my god!
Mamba mentality.
Hey,
Oh,
Mamba mentality.
let's not do that.
we were so happy.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Good
Everyone's laughing.
grief.
It's a blessing to be alive.
wrong with this guy?
Mama mentality.
No, it's not.
Debbie Downer over there. Jesus.
Did you not see? Did you
This
not
guy
see?
said I have no problem ruining people's life.
Did you not see what Kobe?
Goodness.
Did you not see what Kobe did to the Knicks? He didn't have to score 61. He scored.
Just close the
he scored
curtain on this guy over
he
here.
scored 61 on purpose.
Wow.
Your final thoughts are over, Jason. You had the chance.
You think I open up a whole new conversation?
Hey, listen, everyone's having a laugh. That's what counts.
That's true. That's true.
Everyone's having a laugh. That's what counts.
Tyler, cut off his mic.
What about you? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. I just want to obviously thank Jess for coming.
Thank you.
Remind people February 9th that we're gonna put all the info up on our podcast Instagram and the Twitter as well about the event that you have coming up February 9th. And yeah, like I said, just for what you're doing, be the person that you needed when you were that age. And for everybody else, I'm like Jason, who obviously needs a little bit more work. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. You know, like we all had, like last year we had a rude awakening when it came to Nipsey, and I feel like it almost feels like every year now we start off with some type of awakening that's like trying to remind us to just be a bit better than we were yesterday. And I mean, that's what I'm going to take. That's what I'm going to take from this. Just try to be better than I was yesterday.
We shouldn't need them though.
We shouldn't.
Just be, you know?
We shouldn't. But if this is what gives us the kick in the ass to do better, unfortunately, I'm not going to ignore it.
But we need to stay true
impact.
to that, though. Because I feel like in moments like these, we say these things, and then like 3 weeks from now, when we kind of go back to regular life, all this emotion and all this desire to be quote unquote good gets thrown out the window.
Guys, can I tell you something?
Sure.
The event Feb 9,
Yep.
first week of Jan or second week of Jan, the event got half sold out. 20 tickets, gone. New year, new me. Now I'm having a hard time selling 6 tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy how people, and I mean, we only have 6 tickets left, by the way. But if we do get more from this podcast, I will open up some space.
Okay.
But these are the 6 tickets that I'm having such a hard time. And I truly do believe that it's because we're in Feb now and that mentality is gone.
Right.
Yeah, all the resolutioners are out the gym.
It's
Thank
done.
God. It's been great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're finally in a gym?
Dude, I've been in the gym. That's why you're afraid to touch thighs with me.
No. I
Afraid to
don't,
feel these quads.
definitely not the case.
In the camera, it looks like you're holding Jamali's knee, huh?
What? This guy always
Come on, bro. It's 2020, bro.
Yo, I don't know about you, but it's 2020 is the
We
same
can
old
tell
me.
them the truth now.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna go down there.
Yo, you're getting a little too comfortable. I don't know about all this, bro.
I'm playing. It's too easy with this guy. All right, I think let's close it out. Okay?
Yeah, we should. 'Cause
Like I said, thank you, Jess, for
curtain's
coming
about to
on.
close.
It was
No,
a
thank you so much
pleasure.
for having me.
Guys at home, we're going to send all the links. We're going to put it all up on the Instagram and the Twitter and the Facebook. So don't even worry about it. It will be up there most likely by the end of tonight. As always, you know, you can reach us at Don't Be Mad Pod on Twitter, Instagram, at Don't Be Mad Podcast on Facebook. We have a YouTube. I always keep forgetting to remind people about that. So for those who are listening and want to actually watch us be degenerates, you know.
He's not focusing.
He's not focused at all.
Oh, I don't have space for this. I told you. I don't have space, you know, for all that.
So yeah, the YouTube, the Spotify, the alls. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week with another episode of the Don't Be Mad Podcast. Kobe.
We out.
Take care, everyone.
You guys-